Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day. It is snowing here in Massachusetts and did a little bit of shoveling this morning. So I'm going to take a little break now and share a little bit of holistic medicine. And I found this quote to be extremely interesting, don't you? For all the people who are into science, which just means knowledge, we deal with real science too. A great quote right here from Albert Einstein: look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. That's so true because everything you need is in nature. God gave us everything: medicinal plants, herbs, of course, big pharma will come and try to plagiarize it later. They can't patent what's already there naturally, what grows wild. And so even the animals are so wise. Like, how do animals go to doctors? No, they go to nature and they know what plants are good. They'll nibble on certain things when they're not feeling well. It's just the circle of life, right? But we've been so disconnected, especially living in these urban areas. But I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to give you a really great source that you can get at your local store and that you can grow yourself. And we're going to be dealing with, talking about parasite cleanses and garlic. And you don't think, oh, I don't have to deal with parasites. I'm in a first world country. That's not something I have to deal with. Well, let me just tell you, it is something we got to deal with. And you can see symptoms in people all the time, especially people who crave sugary sweets all the time. And there are movies out there too. It can definitely take control of your mind. Like, they can influence you. Like, they'll make you want to go after certain things that are horrible for you, right? And you wouldn't think these symptoms have anything to do with a parasite infestation. And I really warn people about not crossing the blood barrier, not injecting anything foreign into your body. The only thing that you would need to use a needle for is if somebody was unconscious, you want to inject them with like a high dose of vitamin C. I put up that amazing video by Andrew Saul. I'm sorry, Saul. I should know that, right? It's a biblical surname too. But Andrew Saul, which amazing physician, that lecture is still on YouTube. I'm glad I backed it up. I'm surprised YouTube even allowed that video to still circulate. But there's a lot of great physicians too. Dr. Berg went into it too. He has a vid about parasite cleanses and stuff. And not only is garlic great for parasite cleanses, but it's great for so-called viral infections, you name it. So here we have, let's look at some of these symptoms, guys, because you wouldn't think, but this is symptoms that we get, people can get all the time. So, and in this modern system, you damn skippy, you can still get it because our water is not as clean as people would like to believe. The foods they get are not their hygiene. I do practice a very modest lifestyle. Everyone wants to be really hedonistic, and there's a price you pay for that. So symptoms of parasite infestation include, but are not limited to, constipation, diarrhea, digestive disorders, irritability, nervousness, your nervous Nellies, uh, people who they get really explosive or whatever. Yeah, there is something in there that's influencing them. And if you don't take care of it, these parasites can travel to your brain. There have been people talking about getting these injections, and they get migraines that move from one side of their head to another. What does that sound like to you? So, irritable bowel syndrome, persistent skin problems, granulomas, which are tumor-like parasite encasements, sugar cravings. Now we're living in a sugar-driven society. So maybe it's not you that's craving that sweet. Maybe it's the worms inside of you. This can happen to animals too. If they act a little funny, we periodically should be cleansed a few times a year just because of the environment we live in. Ravenous appetite. Don't you notice some skinny people that just eat refined flour, white pasta, macaroni and cheese, just crap all the time, cheeseburgers, pizza, but yet they don't really gain any weight and they're constantly hungry. Well, I know people like that, and it's really frustrating to have them as a house guest because they're constantly eating up until freaking damn near midnight if they had their way. And they act like they didn't eat, like if, almost like if you deny them, like you're trying to starve them, but it's like you don't need to eat that many times. It's foolish. And so it's very evident, but this person will not take a couple of cloves of garlic to save their life. So, and they are a nervous Nelly and everything else. So that's just for anybody out there that know people like this. Allergies, intolerances. We are a nation. Everyone's allergic to everything now, right? Nasal itching, picking, coin-sized blotches on the face, skin eruptions, markings, overall fatigue, disturbed sleep, night sweats, fretful, anemia, muscle cramps, joint pains, postnasal drip, bruxism, I'm not sure what that is, have to look that one up, prostatitis, bluish specks and whites of eyes, craving dirt. Isn't that funny? Like a damn worm. Clay, raw rice, dried foods, charcoal, and burned food. And they also say like itching in the anal area. Nasty, right? So I went on to sources. Sources are more, it's more common than you think. You think this just can, happen to just to animals. No way. And this is a big deal because just like, that's probably why they showed garlic in vampires and a lot of the media you see, right? Because they take from you, but they don't give you anything like a healthy bacteria. So what are parasites? A parasite is an organism that lives on or in a host organism and gets its food from or at the expense of its host. In humans, parasites that live inside us use up our vitamins, proteins, and other nutrients, depriving us of optimal nutrition. Not only do they steal nutrients from our body, they also eliminate waste inside of us, releasing their toxic bacteria. Parasites are most commonly found in the colon. However, any part of the body is vulnerable to infestation, including the lungs, liver, brain, blood, muscles, joints, skin, and other organs. Even if you eat a healthy diet, these unwanted visitors may prevent you from getting all the nutrients from the food you eat, and they may cause a wide range of health issues, with symptoms reaching from mild rashes or headaches to serious illnesses. While some parasites are easily identified, such as tapeworms, roundworms, and hookworms, most parasites that people suffer from are actually microscopic bugs, such as amoebas or flukes. Interesting. So, why is there, it's saying right here, they exist in America too. In fact, they are much more prevalent in America now because of several factors, such as the rise in international travel, the return of armed forces from overseas, the increased popularity of household pets, the increasing use of child daycare centers, the contamination of municipal and rural water supplies, the rise of refugee and immigrant populations, the increased popularity of imported exotic foods, the use of antibiotics and drugs that suppress the immune system, and the sexual revolution and the increase in sexual activity among the general population. And that's true, guys. Being in a monogamous relationship is the way to go because, a lot of these things are transmissible through bodily fluids. That's why I say any type of syringe use is not the way, right? Because just think about it, common sense. And what's the other way? And so anybody pushing a hedonistic lifestyle, yeah, that will mess up your health too. And you're not going to get a lot of these, you got a lot of people pushing health stuff, but like if you got something inside of you that's eating away at everything, you need to know how to clean that out too and not act like it can't happen. And look at these daycare centers. Nobody wants to, I understand it's hard out there, but you can do more harm than good putting your children in these places. Just saying. It's almost good to like take a step back. You got to get government assistance, or if you got to like just take a pay cut or work remote and do what you got to do to be near your children, make sure you're clean. That will definitely be the best investment because you can put them in these places and they're constantly being exposed to all this crap and you're constantly spending your time, money, and energy, and it's a nightmare. I've been there. It says, how do they get in your body? Well, they can enter your body in a number of ways. They are most commonly contracted from consuming contaminated water, meat, or produce, but some can also enter your body through the skin. Syringes, anyone? Such as when walking barefoot on contaminated soil. See, just walking on contaminated soil can mess you up. So what do you think putting like a mystery chemical cocktail in there is going to do, right? In the skin? My goodness. And when touching contaminated surfaces. They can also be contracted from sexual activity with a contaminated person. So it's very important that you're with somebody that is in line and is not, like brainwashed with the medical system. And then, you're trying to stay away from all the stuff and then they're putting you in harm's way. So that's a really serious thing, and that's something that people need to address if they haven't. Okay, so yeah, microscopic parasite eggs can even be breathed in and may survive in your intestinal tract when then they produce and grow. Is that what the run is about? Who knows? What are the major sources? But these are the ones that, they really cared about our health. They wouldn't be contaminated in our water. You can look that up. That's big. Of course, the contaminated food, contaminated soil, walking barefoot on contaminated soil, touching the surfaces, pets. Everyone wants a pet in their house. I'm sorry, I don't deal with that. I love animals and I advocate that they should be in their natural habitat because there's a lot of animal trafficking, breeding, this and that, and they're being injected with a lot of crap just to be able to be eligible to sell. That's crazy. If you have a farm, if you have like a nice, big, a couple of acres where your animal can run free and they have their own like sleeping quarters, I'd make like a little guest house or a shed or something, but you don't gotta have the damn animal in your bed. People are just getting way too intimate and they share certain things and viruses and bacteria that can be harmful, right? Because they're in close contact with the animal feces. I mean, I know when someone has a cat a mile away, their urine is like ammonia. And I think if you smell that long enough, it'll mess you up because it smells potent, So it's just, it is what it is. It has its own function, but not to be in such intimate contact the way we've been doing it. Travel, people go all over the place, bring back, unsanitary sexual practice, poor sanitation. And of course, sushi. Everyone's like, sushi, sushi. I mean, that's one of the biggest ones when you're not cooking it. Undercooked meat, especially pork, which of course this is against the dietary law of the Old Testament that no one wants to pay attention to, and then they wonder why they're full of diseases now. Because some things weren't made, like a pig is akin to eating a dog. It really wasn't made for human consumption, but there you go. So yeah, we talked about vitamin C in the prior video with Dr. Andrew Saul. So these are very good. These three vitamins C, E, and A, minerals like zinc and selenium. Really, really good. Of course, practice good hygiene. They say people who bite on their nails too much too, so gross. That's another way to get in it, because you want to scrub underneath, because many microscopic organisms like bacteria, even parasite eggs and others can get trapped in the dirt beneath your fingernails. Okay. Women who change their baby's diaper and make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. Avoid sitting on a bare a toilet seat. That should be common knowledge. I don't know who's even doing that. Obviously, we're taught to squat, air squat. Do not use tap water to clean contact lenses and remove contact. Yep. I try to tell certain people that, like, use distilled water for everything, even for your personal hygiene, because you'd be surprised. Of course, dog pox. If you walk barefoot on in a dog pot and things like that. People don't realize that, in these child care facilities. And the best, of course, they say breastfeeding is best because you provide them with the best antibodies, and all these formulas are probably full of pesticides. Don't let these toddlers kiss their animals the way they do. Again, people put the dogs now damn near in their crib. Of course, be careful with the water supply. You want to get filters, especially if you go camping. But yeah, test your tap water. You'd be surprised how much stuff is in there. And people think that, just, filtered water is the way to go. But sometimes these filters don't take out everything. So you have to make sure, that's why I got a distiller, because after I test it, it says 0 parts per million. Even food handling, this stuff could happen. So it'll tell you, take certain precautions. You want to freeze your fish at minus 18 degrees Celsius for at least 48 hours to kill larvae. There's things you can do. You can freeze your beef and pork for at least, so that's things I'm going to do. You got to freeze. So when you purchase meat, I have a packet of meat actually in the fridge. I'm going to throw that in the freezer before even trying to use it, because you see, the more you read, the more you're like, wow, I can do even more steps to do to be better, right? And I tell people, don't brush your teeth with tap water. It tells you right here you shouldn't do that. And ice, when you go to these commercial places, right, they're using any type of water. That's why, again, iced coffees and all that ain't the way. Just make it at home. Freeze your coffee cubes and all that. It'll actually taste better. At least just get hot coffee if you're out then. But iced coffees when you're out, I'm always worried about that. So yeah, always make sure, avoid wearing perfumes, all that stuff. So very, very prevalent source of health concerns. So there's many different ways you can be exposed to this, and you wouldn't think, guys, you wouldn't think these couple of, those symptoms would have anything to do with it. I mean, but it goes into even more. You got body odor, breathing difficulties, easy bruising. A lot of people have that issue. Chronic dehydration, when they're constantly thirsty, eye pain, eating disorders, stunted growth. Am I freezing? Even stunted growth, guys. You see that? Seizures is on here. Weakness, poor cognitive skills, pain around belly button. I mean, we've probably all been through this stuff. Mood disorders, memory problems, guys, headaches. But they're quick to give you a prescription. They're quick to give you a pill. And then the side effect is like stroke and death. It's like, did they go through all the possible things first that it could be and give you a less invasive solution to helping you get to your goal of wellness, right? They don't want to do that, because that's not what brings in the shekels. Oral health problems. So it goes into why conventional antibiotics are bad. I can put this for you too. And this is where I got the quote from at the end. Look deep, deep into nature and you will understand everything. Exactly. Because it tells you how they already put how conventional antibiotics outlived their use. Because people are becoming very, very resilient to all of this because they kill both the good and the bad bacteria. And it says in the Threat Report 2013 of the CDC, it admits that modern medicine is a failure when it comes to infections and diseases. Since Mother Nature, we'll call him Father Nature, God is a male, they love putting mother on everything, adapts to chemical threats far more quickly than drug companies can roll out new chemicals. Recently, we have become aware of the harsh side effects and severe limitations of pharmaceutical drugs. In particular, antibiotics have shown to cause even greater injury to the body by killing both helpful and harmful bacteria. The immune system is compromised by the lack of helpful bacteria in the body and the harmful bacteria that has increased their resistance to antibiotics because of their overuse. But I'm going to read this to you a little bit and put this up and just let you know that garlic is amazing and it's not only good for parasites but other things too. So there are other people out there, they say, the green husks of the black walnut is very good. Yes, it is. But if you can only get one thing and your resources are limited, who can't get their hands on some garlic? And just knowing that, that the Most High's medicine, remember, he put Adam and Eve in a garden. His medicine is something man can never replicate and beat. Now science is catching up to like the phytochemicals in the superfoods and the different herbs and remedies, natural remedies. They're trying to now pick from that to make their cancer fighting drugs, which there's a little link here that will tell you that, right? So it says here, garlic has been shown to help our white blood cells not only defend us against cancer, but also to increase our ability to destroy tumors. Garlic has been found to stimulate interferon production, enhance natural killer cells, stop tumor growth, and even reduce the associated pain of cancer. Most of the research has been done on cancers of the digestive tract. That's by Dr. Richard Sulch. Garlic in cryptococcal meningitis, a preliminary report of 21 cases. And that's a reference there you can look up. It says, I have seen garlic heal cancer inside and out. I have seen it destroy all bacteria, virus, fungus, worms, and parasites. Everything inside and outside too. Garlic is the most potent killer of bacteria, virus, and fungus. In fact, any antigen, pathogen, stronger than any other herb. In other words, echinacea may stimulate the immune system more than garlic. At least there is more clinical proof of this, but it is not nearly as potent at directing, destroying pathogens. Garlic does enhance the immunity, but it is the deadliest killer of everything that can hurt you. This is why I say echinacea and garlic are the best dynamic duo. Pharmaceutical antibiotics are non-selective in their destruction of bacteria in your body. They just destroy it all. This means many problems because our body has millions of so-called friendly bacteria that we need for proper metabolic functions. This is why many people, after a course of antibiotic therapy, have digestive problems, constipation, and yeast and fungal overgrowth infections. A worse problem is that antibiotics don't destroy 100% of a bacteria strain in your body, usually only 99%. The remaining bacteria mutates, becoming more deadly and antibiotic resistant. This is how very lethal, antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria are created. Garlic is totally selective in its bacteria destruction, only killing bacteria that's harmful to our body. What is amazing is that at the same time, garlic actually enhances our friendly bacteria and improves our intestinal flora and digestion. Garlic destroys many types of bacteria, including Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, typhoid, diphtheria, cholera, bacterial dysentery, which is traveler's diarrhea, tuberculosis, tetanus, rheumatic bacteria, and many others. But that's not all. Garlic is also an extremely potent antiviral agent. Oh yeah, they won't tell you that because they're too busy trying to turn us into guinea pigs. Garlic has been tested against many viruses and is known to destroy on contact the viruses that cause measles, mumps, mononucleosis, Epstein-Barr, chickenpox, herpes simplex number 1 and number 2, herpes zoster, viral hepatitis, scarlet fever, rabies, and others. But still, that's not all. Garlic's antifungal ability is second to none. In the laboratory, it has proven to be more potent than any known antifungal agent, including nystatin. Garlic will regulate the overgrowth of Candida albicans and positively kill ringworm. Of course, this can be used on animals too, but isn't it amazing? Like our creator already put everything here if you have any issue. So that's, it's crazy how we've been just so disconnected. And I'm hoping to, bring this back into people's remembrance, because we all heard the stories how garlic is good for you, but forget how much, right? Garlic is a proven, gosh, when you see the C word, it's heavy, but it's a proven cancer remedy. About 1/3 of all the medical research into garlic is cancer related. Garlic has been shown to help our white blood cells not only defend us against cancer, but also to increase our ability to destroy tumors. When the properties of garlic are present in the bloodstream, many aspects of our immunity are enhanced. Garlic has also been found to stimulate interferon production, enhance natural killer cells, stop tumor growth, and even reduce the associated pain of cancer. Most of the research has been done on cancers of the digestive tract. In one medical university study, garlic was shown to reduce stomach cancer 10 times more effectively than the non-garlic eating group. Oh yeah, and I try to tell people that had cancer, try this and that, and it's like, oh no, I need my devil's priest, my witch doctor to tell me how to function. Like, it is a damn spell, guys. It is a freaking cult, because you could have all the best intentions in the world for these people, and they treat you like an asshole. Hey, can't say I didn't try. Garlic and infections. I have seen it destroy all bacteria, virus, fungus, worms, and parasites. Everything inside and out too. So garlic is the most potent killer of bacteria. So I just read some of that. So if you need that, it's a great screenshot. Sometimes gotta definitely, there's plenty of herbs for cancer and stuff. But Big Pharma is not going to tell us any of this stuff. And it's just so great, and Allison here is the antioxidant that helps prevent the most common cause of heart attacks and strokes, and is only formed when crushed. It produces an instant reaction to neutralize free radicals. Yeah, so when you take the clove or you cut it in half, you can take a fork or crush it in your mouth. Make sure you get the juices, like masticate it where it breaks down, and that's where all like the great nutrients are going to come out. So look, in the 1920s, the American slang term for garlic was Bronx vanilla. Garlic didn't become popular in the US until the 1940s. So amazing, aka the sting and rose, but it's actually part of the lily family. See, that's cool. Here are the top reasons you should adore the humble garlic clove. Yeah, the real medicine doesn't get the notoriety that all these freaking demonic pills and potions have for you, right? You're not going to see an ad for garlic. Applying garlic topically, look, can kill bacteria. So if you have something on your skin, look, it helps with cold prevention. I've been sick so many times and just took this. The sulfur compounds in garlic may stimulate the immune system's natural defenses against cancer. Results show garlic can reduce the incidence of stomach cancer by as much as a factor of 12. Of course, they know all this stuff because now, all of a sudden, science, which, they're actually the slow, barbaric ones. Now they're finally, which was, I guess, is in 2004, they finally found a way to target cancerous tumors using the chemical that gives garlic its distinctive taste and smell. Allicin has been known to kill disease-causing microbes in cancers for centuries. Yeah, but people don't realize after the world wars, we've been totally sheltered from the truth of the past. They totally have lied on us so much. Yeah, I mean, the truth is preposterous to most people, right? When you try to just say it plainly. But look, this is something you can get at the store. This is something you can grow at home. Add it to your garden. You're not going to go wrong. Very affordable. If we can't get any of the fancy stuff, this is one thing, right? It also attacks healthy cells, but eating garlic does no harm because allicin quickly breaks down once ingested. Oh, it's like a creator knew exactly what to do with his correct medicine, right? Because it goes in, it does what it's supposed to do, and then it's out the damn door, right? This thing gonna work? And then it's gone. So if you got anything, parasites are a bigger problem than we give it credit for. No need to be scared of any type of Ronas or, the V's or whatever. Can't even say the word anymore because you could just go to the store. I got, of course, if you can, get the organic, right? And of course, you open them up. There's so many amazing little cloves, but this can last you quite a while. I mean, I had a bad tooth. I was in so much pain. I took a little piece. I squeezed the allicin from it, put it in that area. I mean, if you've been watching me lately, what a transformation. Okay, I didn't go to Big Pharma. I didn't go to these horrid dentists that were just going to screw me up more and put me on some type of toxin, and my body's just had enough. I've had enough, so I'm good with that. They're not going to use me as a guinea pig anymore. They got me for too many years, guys, and it's a miracle that I'm even still here, like a lot of people, right? But this should be part of your medical kit. You wouldn't think so, but I mean, my medical kit is going to look a lot different than a corporate health physician, right? Because corporate medicine isn't the way to go. Because there's too much money to be made, and all they do is push poisons and chemicals, poisons and chemicals. So I'm going to put this link too to show you how you can grow your own, guys. And, if you save it and you can replant it, so cool.
Growing garlic is easy and takes up little room. Even those with small gardens can raise enough to be self-sufficient in garlic for a good part of the year. Garlic is grown by planting the cloves. So to get started, all you need to do is take some fresh garlic bulbs with large cloves. Avoid garlic that has become soft. Separate the garlic cloves. Each clove will sprout into a garlic plant, which will later produce a garlic bulb. Plant only the larger cloves, as the smaller cloves takes up just as much space in the planting bed or pot, but they produce much smaller bulbs. So we will plant these larger bulbs. For the potting mix, take 60% normal garden soil and 40% organic compost or vermicompost. Mix it well. Take a big container with drainage hole at the bottom, cover the hole with small stones or gravel, and fill it with the potting mix. This flat part is the bottom part from where roots will develop, and this pointed tip is the top part from where new shoots will emerge. Point the tip upward and plant the clove about 2 inches deep in the potting mix. Make a hole with your finger and gently place the clove in the hole and cover the hole with the potting mix. Like this. The cloves should be spaced 4 to 5 inches apart for better growth. Water in thoroughly. Newly planted garlic needs to be kept moist to help the roots to develop, but make sure you do not overwater as it can cause rot. Keep the pot in full sun and reduce the watering gradually as the season warms up. The garlic needs dry summer to allow the bulbs to mature. Normally after 90 to 100 days, you can harvest them when the top begins to turn yellow and fall over.
Isn't that so cool, guys? Oh, I think that's amazing. And just remember this quote too. I mean, just for it only took them a couple, a little bit of work, guys. You can, take a couple of those cloves, and I learned a little bit too. You just want to use the big ones, and there's many videos like that. I also had a couple of tutorials too. I have it on my YouTube, my Dia Dash, because it seems that some of the tutorials, I guess the files were a bit large, but I could try doing smaller ones, and his was only a few minutes long, depending on what it is too. On my Patreon, I'll put a lot more medical journals, you know, nutritional medicine journals. Patreon's good for that. It lets you put a lot of links. It's hard to put like your own uploads on there. I'll have to work out the interface a little bit better because I want to put like more exclusive content for the people who decide to go on my Patreon. And I put up my law references, like all like, my database that I've been allocating. But it's a great um, form to put up like PDFs and things like that, like stuff like this. That way it'll be a massive database for you guys too. I do different topics on this channel. But Patreon will be mostly for like where I put all my sources and stuff, because it'll save all the links, and that way I know that it's preserved, and that I can just build up the database, and that way it can just be that much more robust for the next person who wants to join. So when people are like, there's no scientific data or journals that this stuff exists, you're just like, talk to the hands. You are way behind the times, apparently. Okay, that is totally a freaking ignorant way of looking at things. Okay, what came first? The natural or all of these so-called synthetic items, right? So it's just something to think about. And parasite, and they even say it can be microscopic. It won't even look so much like that, but like you can just imagine. And when you eat the garlic, you'll notice too, sometimes you'll have to go to the bathroom and detox right out. It's almost like the parasites are like, I need to get the hell out of here. Because if your body is more alkaline, you won't attract a lot of this stuff, because they won't want to stay in this house. The house has to be like a junkyard. They want their sugar, they want their sweets, because people who are really, really craving sweets, they're craving like really, like just junk all the time, like processed stuff. And then when you try to give them healthy stuff, they're like, ew, that's gross. And yeah, vision problems too. These people that I'm talking about, they do wear glasses. So you're like, what do you mean increased, in allergies, bloating and stuff? And they're never satiated. They have a ravenous appetite. I mean, they can eat you out of house and home. Like, I'm not feeding no damn parasites, okay? There's plenty of herbs. There's people that, show them. And look at all those blotches. You wouldn't even think, right? Because this is something a lot of people don't even talk about. Because they're just like, ew, this can't happen to me. I live in America. Well, I just showed you there's many types, right? And the symptoms are just so obvious, and the sources are pretty much, daycares and everything else. But this is such a great quote. I'm probably going to put this as my thumbnail, guys, right? Because, I mean, it really catches your attention. But if you can only get one thing, get yourself some garlic. I mean, it's a real medicinal herb that keeps on giving. And hopefully this gives you a healthy appreciation for your creator. And if you look deep into nature, you'll see that there was an intelligence behind it. Everything is synchronized. The whole ecosystem works together. Now, for those who just want to believe in Big Bang, this and that, just an explosion is going to make such a, organized, purposeful existence. I don't buy it, right? It had to come from an intelligent design. If you look closely at a snowflake, it has an amazing sacred geometry to it, right? And so a lot of our times, we just got to look to nature. You're going to find all the medicinal help that you need, and a lot of it you can grow. This is a way that we can empower ourselves, save our money. Don't give it to big pharma. I don't care if you have insurance and you think you're not paying for it. You're paying for it in ways you couldn't possibly understand. Garlic's not going to give you messed up side effects. Use it for an antibiotic. Use it for an antiviral. I keep my body strong and healthy, and the only way that it will not do so is if you allow a Trojan horse into it. And a lot of these vials, who's to say it's not contaminated with a bunch of parasites and everything else? Never mind the mercury, aluminum, and all this other nonsense, right? I mean, that's huge. But yeah, many videos, how to grow garlic, how to grow ginger, how to grow this. You can be in an urban setting, have a small pot, tend to it, and at least it can give you some skills. So, when you do get out of the city, you're going to have some real skills that you can use on yourself, right? That you can use when you do get into those rural areas. But we all love our pets. This is nothing against the cute pets. Animals are amazing, and if anything, I don't think they deserve to be in a cooped up apartment in these urban situations, because a lot of the times living in the city is not good for us. And instead of working on getting out of the city, people are bringing the animals that were roaming free in nature and had everything they need, right? I mean, didn't they say they descended from wolves? You think wolves need us to like baby them and stuff like that? I mean, really? I guess, yeah, when you domesticate a breed for so long, it becomes like it's like a learned helplessness, but it wasn't always that way. And so I just don't advocating in any type of animal trafficking or human trafficking. That's just my opinion. But this was just such a great quote. Get yourself some garlic. And I hope that this was helpful and that it can empower yourself that you can take care of yourself with holistic medicine. I've done it for the past almost 9 years now. And let me tell you, I haven't looked back and I won't look back. And I hope that you are strong enough to try, not listening to a lot of the propaganda. And no matter what title they have, it doesn't mean they have your best interests. Like, try reading sources from people that don't stand to gain anything from you, not the business person that you go to that's getting paid for seeing you. That's what I mean. But yeah, look deep into nature and you will understand everything better. And that's one thing. That's probably the only thing I do agree with this Albert Einstein. Isn't that funny? A lot of them are more spiritual than they wanted to let on in their, during their lifetimes, which I think is very funny. But hypocrites will be hypocrites. Have a great day, guys, and stay warm if it's snowing in your area.